Advertising: Veracruz Mexican Restaurant, LOZ Antique Mall, the Osage Beach Hy-Vee, Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales, GT Brothers Automotive, American Sun Control, the Graffinery Heating and Cooling, First Choice Realty, Jason Blankenship CPA, the Kidwell Garber Funeral Homes of Versailles and Large, the Bank of Versailles, the Shed Batting Cages, Versailles Total Fitness, and Community Point Bank. Now, coverage of the 94th Annual Eldon Boys Basketball Tournament on KS-95.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's presentation to KS-95 Sports Live at the 94th Annual Eldon Tournament, the granddaddy of them all. And what a tournament it is. From top to bottom, this thing is filled with extremely talented basketball squads. We got things underway last night, but a great matchup here this evening as the hometown Mustangs. This is their tournament, and they're trying to make a statement in the opening round. They come in the 7th seed, face off with 2 seed Smith Cotton. I'm Colton Taylor. Brittany Carver with me right now. I feel weird saying her full name, but
that is weird.
Well, I had to type it on that letter thing today. It was awkward. I had to look up how to spell your name, if we're being honest.
Oh.
And Ryan Retone will be joining us shortly. Britt, this is a big opportunity here for the Mustangs. They've been playing a lot better as of late. If you can come out and upset the 2 seed in the opening round, this could be a huge spark for the rest of your season.
Absolutely, especially playing at home. That's a big confidence booster that you need kind of getting late in the season here to keep that momentum going and maybe flip around some of those earlier games that you lost that you shouldn't have lost to begin with.
Yeah, some tough ones for the Mustangs. I'm here to tell you their record doesn't come close to depicting the team they are. They are 3-9 on the season. But some of these losses, they lost to Mountain Grove by single digits. They lost to Buffalo by single digits. They lost to Warsaw by a single point in overtime, a Warsaw team that sits at 11-6. They lost to North Howell by 3 points, one that they led in the 4th quarter, and then they lost a tough one to Centralia just the other night. So it has been a season of so close for the Mustangs, and they're getting to a point where it's about time to start reeling things in. This is the Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show as we are getting ready for this matchup between the Mustangs and the Tigers of Smith Cotton. We'll take a look at Smith Cotton when we come back with more of the Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show, all part of our Martin Meadow broadcast. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Since 1944, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company, Morgan County's only locally owned lumber yard, has been providing the area with quality building materials needed for its building, remodeling, and repair projects. Because customer care is Carpenter Gunther's #1 goal, your project is always their priority. They take as much pride in your project as you do. Reach them at 378-4433 Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and 8 to noon on Saturday. Carpenter Gunther, where they put the home in hometown business.
Have you ever gone into panic mode because you reach into your wallet and your debit card is not there? Hi, this is Ryan Pryor from Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles. With the Umbrella app on your mobile phone, you can block your debit card with a quick tap of a button. 5 minutes later, you remember that it's in your pocket. No problem. Just go back in and unblock your card, and now it's business as usual. Ask us how you can enroll. Member FDIC.
A hometown bank, a hometown friend.
If you're looking to buy or sell a luxury home, first-time homeowner, farm, townhouse, lakefront property, or a commercial property, then call Chris Weeberry with First Choice Realty, Eldon's oldest and most trusted real estate brokerage. Chris is a lifelong resident of the area and real estate salesperson. If you're thinking about selling or you're looking to purchase your new home, Chris would love to help you out. Give him a call at 573-480-2313. That's 573-480-2313.
The Morgan County Health Center in Versailles reminds you can help your child have a healthy future. Encourage them to get 1 hour or more of physical activity every day and limit screen time to 2 hours at most. Time spent in front of a screen watching TV or playing video games means less time being active. Make sure they get 3 servings of low or no-fat milk or yogurt every day, 4 servings of water, not sugary drinks, and 5 servings or more of fruit and vegetables. Healthy habits lead to a healthy future. A message from the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles.
Back at Eldon High School, home of this matchup between the Tigers of Smith Cotton, the Mustangs of Eldon. Eldon, as I mentioned, comes in with a record of 3-9, a very deceptive record, to say the least. And as for these Smith Cotton Tigers, trying to find them here. They come in with a record of 10-5 on the season. A great start for a Class 6 squad. That's another thing that needs to be mentioned. This is a Class 6 Smith Cotton squad. Eldon, a Class 4 program. Looking at Smith Cotton on the season, they opened things up with a big win over Harrisonville, who is 10-4. They beat them by 17. Then it went down to the Willard Basketball Classic, lost the open round to Willard, but then knocked off Mansfield and Belton before that one was done. They lost to Hickman. They lost to Blair Oaks, but only by 5. And that is a good Blair Oaks squad at 9-4 on the season. I mean, saying good Blair Oaks squad is kind of redundant. They're always good. Past that, they defeated Versailles pretty handily. They beat Versailles by just shy of 40, knocked off Marshall by about 50. They beat Summit Christian Academy. They then knocked off Camdenton, another Class 6 program, by 32 points. They beat Clinton by about 15. Fell to a very good Battle squad rather decisively. Battle was able to beat them by 33 points. Waynesville was another win for the Smith Cotton squad, followed by a win over Knob Noster in major fashion. However, they just fell to Jeff City, 73-58. Mind you, Jeff City, another super talented program. Jeff City at 12-3 on the season, with one of the best scorers in the state on their squad. So what I gather from all of that, this is a good Smith Cotton squad. There's no doubt about it. However, they can be beat. That's been seen from these other programs. And, Britt, I know you've got to see a lot of the Mustangs along with me this year. This Eldon squad seems to really pride itself on the defensive end of the floor.
Absolutely. They really take their defense, and then that leads into their offense. So when their defense is, quick as always, I mean, we see Rhett Bayshore, he's always flying around the court. If their defense is doing that, they're more likely to go down the court and be able to score the basketball a lot easier. So I think that's really where it'll start tonight, is being able to guard some of them taller guys down there for Smith Cotton.
Yeah, size is going to be a factor, as I should have just looked in this handy-dandy program I have here, because they do give us the heights for a lot of these squads. And for Smith Cotton, let's see what we've got here. Well, first I have to find their roster. Either way, they look big out on the floor. I know that much. Size is nothing that the Mustangs are unaccustomed to, as they've had to be undersized in multiple battles. But looking out there for Smith Cotton, look no further than Jaquise Bennett. He is 6'7". Drew Berry, 6'4". Dax Whisker, I remember him from last season. Great ball player, just a junior at 6'4". Robert Balance at 6'3". Simon Gladish at 6'3". Oh, and Jaron Belt on here at 6'5". I don't see Jaron out on the floor, though. I say that. I don't know that Jaron is here this evening, but nonetheless, it's a big group. There's no two ways about it. And so it's going to be interesting to see how the Mustangs handle that size, because for the Mustangs, they've got 6'4", maybe going on 6'5", and Britton Ahart. You got Cody Tam, who I don't know what Cody's even listed at. I would say Cody's somewhere in the 6'2" range. He plays a lot bigger than his size, mind you. And then 6'2", well, no, that's about it. 6'4", Britton Ahart, 6'2", Cody Tam, and a freshman who really hasn't seen the floor in varsity, Landon Whittle, is 6'6". But like I said, that's really all you got.
I'm just looking down on the floor. Deer King got a haircut. He chopped all of his hair off.
I didn't even recognize
Me
Mason.
either, until I was like, where is he? And then I looked down there.
Oh, my goodness. The last time we saw Mason, he had the curly locks of love just flowing as he was running circles around the floor after hitting a buzzer beater at South Callaway to knock off New Bloomfield. But mind you, I felt that was a big win for Eldon because of how they responded to adversity. They were up 14 in that game. New Bloomfield made a run to go ahead and tie things up and go to overtime, and a lot of teams would have been deflated from that. Plus, you lose Britton Ahart to foul trouble, and instead, I felt like Cody Tam had his best game of the season, and the game ends on Devin Hardy on a run out, finding Mason Deer King underneath the basket for the buzzer beater. Britt, that had to light a fire confidence-wise for these Mustangs.
Absolutely. It's a win on the scoreboard, yes, but it's also a win in so many other ways. They fought against adversity. They came back. Was it North Callaway or South Callaway?
It was neither of those. It was New Bloomfield.
Okay, New Bloomfield came back 14 points. Okay, that takes the momentum away from Eldon, right? So you're down. You have a loss of momentum. You are just looking for a basket to go through the net at that. So having that come out for you and work your way at the end just has to be so rewarding, knowing that your hard work is paying off. And also something else, it lights a fire in you to work harder, knowing that, you will face harder teams, but to always know that you can come back if you just keep playing hard.
Yeah, this Mustang squad, I don't think have hit their peak just yet. There is a lot of potential out here. I talked with Coach Caudell before the game. Didn't have time to get the mics out and record it, but I asked him, I said, Coach, what's big for you? And he said rebounding. He was really disappointed when they lost to Centralia the other night. He told me in the third quarter, they did not grab a single defensive rebound the entire third quarter, and lost to a Centralia team that he felt like they were very capable of beating. So he said tonight, with the size of Smith Cotton athleticism, there's no question about it. The difference between a Mustang win or loss will be decided on the boards. I will say, while there's not a lot of advantages to being the smaller team, one slight advantage you could argue is if you box out and play the fundamentals well, you're more prone to get an over-the-back call or even get some shot blockers up in the air, and there may be some spaces for the Mustangs to capitalize on that.
Absolutely. And, these taller guys, obviously you believe that they would be able to get under the basket down there and just score the basket right off the back of the glass. If you get them into foul trouble, then you have to rely on their other guys that maybe shoot mid-range 3-point. And if those aren't falling, it could give you a chance to break even or even pull ahead.
Absolutely, it could. I think one of the vocal points is going to be Goose and Maverick tonight. If you can get Rhett Bayshore and Devin Hardy going, yes, I'm going Goose and Maverick with them again. Devin Hardy doesn't care about size inside. He will go down, bang with the big guys, and get a bucket. And the same goes for Rhett Bayshore, especially on the defensive end. We're going to take a break for the national anthem. We'll come back with starting lineups in just a moment. Streaming at MoSportsZone.com, live on the radio. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
California Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram has been making happy customers for years with dedicated employees in sales and service. They're your hometown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram dealer and proudly serve the community and surrounding areas by offering new and pre-owned vehicles, as well as top-notch parts and service departments. Find out for yourself why their customers leave happy. California Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram on West Buchanan Street in California wants you to be another happy customer.
A full-service graphics company, Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising does it all, from screen printing, offset printing, and promotional advertising to custom-built trophies and awards. It's where they do it the right way. Check out their Facebook page for their monthly special, and don't forget they offer online stores for all your group and activities needs. Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising, across from the Family Center on Highway 52 East in Versailles. Call 573-378-5775. The students of Lake Area schools have done a lot to make their communities proud. Many have stayed to help the Lake Area grow and prosper. Whether they excel through sports or through academics, our students need our support. As a parent, be a part of your child's education. As a community, be a part of their activities by attending sporting events, concerts, and other extracurricular activities. Our support means better leaders for tomorrow. From Kidwell Garber Funeral Homes of Versailles and Laurie.
Veracruz Mexican Restaurant invites you to join them for a casual lunch or a nice family dinner out with delicious, authentic Mexican cuisine. Veracruz has a great selection of burritos, tacos, seafood, enchiladas, salads, and more, all prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Grab dinner tonight from one of their 3 locations: Veracruz on South Highway 5 in Versailles, Veracruz Jr. on Highway 52 in Stover, or on Highway 65 in Lincoln. Veracruz Mexican Restaurant, a proud sponsor of local athletes.
We are back at Eldon High School getting ready to meet the starting lineups for tonight's contest between the Smith Cotton Tigers and trying to finish a cookie I was chewing on during the break, and the Mustangs of Eldon. Home team on the scoreboard tonight will be the higher seed, which is the Smith Cotton Tigers, and we'll meet their starters under head coach Brennan Scanlon, assisted by Michael Balance. Starting for the Smith Cotton Tigers will be number 3, Malachi Reed, 5'11", and a senior. Number 5, Drew Berry, 6'4", and a sophomore. Number 10, Dax Whisker, 6'4", and a junior. Number 15, Simon Gladish, 6'3", and a sophomore. Number 24, Nakiah Cole, he is 6'2", and a senior. A little surprised, I know he's just a freshman, but Jaquise Bennett is 6'7". Nonetheless, he will not be starting for the Smith Cotton squad. For the Eldon Mustangs, starting for this Eldon squad, number 1, Talon Hull. Number 2, Devin Hardy, Maverick Goose, whatever you want to call it. Number 3, Britton Ahart. Number 24, Cody Tam. Once again, has been playing out of his mind as of late. And rounding out the starting lineup for these Eldon Mustangs, number 25, Kyle Hines. The Eldon Mustangs under head coach Nathaniel Caudell. I really think this could be a big night for the Mustangs if they could get going here early. I just realized I said that. Well, they still got it wrong in here.
The two Hines.
Yeah, I just realized. I think. Yeah, and I was just saying in the book here, they still list Hines at 14, but he's number 25 now. I know that's Kyle for sure. Mustangs in the road maroon uniforms, once again being the 7 seed. Smith Cotton, the 2 seed, and the home whites. This game, by the way, streaming MoSportsZone.com as we get ready for the opening tip here in the Carpenter Comfort Lumber Company first quarter of action. Be interested to see who tries to use what advantage. Yes, Smith Cotton has speed, or has size, excuse me, but I think Eldon has speed.
Absolutely, especially if you have Devin Hardy on your team.
On the opening tip, it's going to be Robert Balance. I didn't have him in my starting lineup. I messed something up there. Either way, Balance will be jumping against Ahart. Oh, and the opening tip, both jumpers mistimed it, but it winds up in the hands of the Tigers. Straight man defense for the Mustangs to begin this one. A little weave offense at the top of the key. They're just floating Nakia Cole, trying to set screens, but a layup on the backside, up and good. First points of the game go to the Tigers. Eldon racing back the other way. Tam hangs in the air and scores. Quick bucket, Cody Tam.
That's a good return, especially starting out here early.
Big to see one go through early in this one for Cody. If he gets one early, he might have 5 by the end of the quarter. Smith Cotton with the ball. Oh, a little reach-in foul going to be called, just fighting for position. Eldon's going to have to do that, though. Britt, text Ryan back.
I am.
Thank you. We're like a well-oiled machine, I tell you what. Smith Cotton with the ball, tied at 2 apiece. Early in this one, it's the 7-2 matchup. Off the screen, pulling a 3 off the front iron. Shot would not go for Malachi Reed. Board to the Mustangs. They want to run. Head to Hardy, middle of the floor. Extra pass out to Tam. Tam steps into the short corner. Jumper off the back iron wouldn't go. Good look for Cody. That's his shot. Smith Cotton wants to go fast, stepping into a wing 3 on the left side, but won't take it. Inside, drawing the defense, whips it to the outside. Thinking about the shot was Barry. He gets underneath, has to give it up, and it's picked off by Tam. Tam to Ahart. Now working it around back to Cody on the inside. Back out, 3 lined up on the right wing. Off the iron, would not go. Good look, Devin Hardy, just couldn't finish.
I like those shots. I mean, he was open, and we know he can hit them, but if he doesn't get them here early, maybe he can get them middle of the game.
This is a 3-2 zone now. Eldon's already switched it up. Good closeouts in the corner to run the shooters off the line, and they're making Smith Cotton rethink. Smith Cotton works around to the right wing, ran off the line by Hull. Back to the left side. Just good closeouts by Eldon right now. Coach Caudell, so active. That man is constantly hollering plays out and sets, telling his defense what to watch for.
It's good to see from a coach who knows he believes in his boys, and I think that proves to the boys that, hey, we have something more to work for than just our team.
Smith Cotton, they've been on offense for about 45 seconds trying to find a soft spot in this 3-2. But you can tell they don't look really thrilled with it. Balance, long stride inside, shot won't go. Offensive board, Smith Cotton, extra pass, flipped up and in. The bucket goes to Dax Whisker. Smith Cotton regains the lead 4-2. Breaking the press with ease are the Mustangs. Ahart, I tried the cross-court bounce, wouldn't go. It's picked off, but recovered by Hines. His scoop shots up and in.
It's a beautiful soft touch off the glass.
Nice play made by Hines. We're tied at 4 apiece. Smith Cotton into the front court, dishes it out. Balance didn't want the 3. Smith Cotton's going to reset. His Eldon defense is at least making Smith Cotton think about things. Little pick and roll action. Balance inside, has it stripped. Smith Cotton has to reset again. Active hands early from Eldon.
Absolutely. This defense has been proving to be huge here.
But an offensive board off the missed shot, given up, flip back up and in. That is back-to-back times that we have seen Dax Whisker benefit from the offensive rebound. Coach Caudell was very adamant about we cannot get out-rebounded in this game.
That could be a winner. Like, what decides the game is who rebounds the most. That could be what wins the game.
100%. Right now, Smith Cotton has 3 buckets, and 2 of them are off offensive boards.
That's huge. I mean, that gives Eldon the lead.
And Mr. Buzzer Beater himself, Mason Deerking, back into the game.
The haircut looks sharp.
It does. It does. He's more aerodynamic now. 6-4. Smith Cotton leads with 4:40 to play in the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter. And all right, I missaw that. I thought it was tipped into the backcourt by Smith Cotton, but they're going to say it went off Hardy's hands, so it'll be a turnover back to the Tigers. Once again, Smith Cotton by 2, about halfway through the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. Smith Cotton, while usually a high-scoring team, is happening a little slower. And Eldon, just like that, switched right back into man. Britt, they are changing defenses every possession to keep Smith Cotton guessing.
That's a good strategy, honestly.
Hey, great closeout by Hardy. Contests the three, it won't go. Holt's got the board and wants to push it. Doesn't even give Smith Cotton time to think about a press in the front court. Holt hits the crossover. A little weave to Hardy. Hardy sees the double team coming, drives away from it. Now the double team on him. He finds Talon. Spin move inside, loses it. Drops it off to Tam at 3. Oh, Tam was trying to find Deerking underneath, but one player went right, the other went left. It's a turnover back to the Tigers.
I think another thing that we're going to have to Eldon is going to have to capitalize on is maybe a few less turnovers, boxing out and less turnovers, giving Smith Cotton a limited amount of time with the ball.
Smith Cotton getting ready to put Bennett in the game. See him ready to sub in at 6'7". Good ball movement as they get it on the block. Double teams comes from the Mustangs. Dished out. Wing 3 lined up. Back iron. Offensive board again for Smith Cotton. Put up, won't go. Fought for. Tipped around. And finally hauled in by Nakia Cole. It's blocked by Tam. Cody put it off the backboard, and Holt's got the board.
Cody doing what he does best down there.
This may be a 7-2 matchup, but Eldon does not seem to care. They have come out ready to trade some body blows. Oh, Talon just pushed off ball, but maintains possession. Tam on the right wing being harassed, gives it back to Talon. He tries to make space, drives, inside spin move, loses his footing and the ball, and they're going to call it clean turnover back to the Tigers.
Kind of a little quiet stretch here for Eldon. I think they need to get a stop here to get the ball back and back down the court.
I love the size for size thing. So as Jaquise Bennett comes in at 6'7", the Mustangs say, we will counter you with 5'9" Red Bayshore.
Hey, honestly, I think that's your best bet. He is absolutely...
Red is a different caliber of defender. Now you got Maverick and Goose on the floor together. You can really go quick. Spin move, dish out from Smith Cotton, wing 3. It draws nothing. Talon the board. He finds Red. Good rebounding effort by Talon Holt. Talon whips it over to Devin. Hardy thought about the 3, doesn't want it. Being pressured all the way out to the volleyball line. It's poked out of bounds and will stay with the Mustangs.
It's going to be really important to take care of that ball tonight. Smith Cotton has showed really good defensive efforts by poking the ball loose and just 50-50 balls like that.
Dangerous inbound, but Hull's able to corral it. 2:25 to play in the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter. It's 6-4, Smith Cotton by 2. Ahart sets the screen. Talon has to pick up the dribble, loses it, needs help, finds Devin. Thought about the wing 3, instead lobs it into Deerking. Deerking underneath, double team comes. He dishes it out top of the key to Talon. Talon splits the double, drops it off to Mason. Short corner, jumper, he's got it.
Beautiful shot right there.
Mason Deerking tying the game at 6 apiece. Different haircut, same walking bucket. And it's nearly lost. Smith Cotton able to corral it with under 2 minutes to go as they cross half court. Knotted up at 6 apiece. Eldon back in that straight man defense. Talon Holt is guarding Bennett. Talon Holt is 6 feet tall, maybe. And now they'll switch Deerking back onto him. I think Deerking can body him a little. Little pick and roll action. Long strides inside. Shot flipped up. Count it and a foul. Strong take by Smith Cotton.
I think Deerking got a little lost down there on the block. He was trying to make sure 35 wasn't going to shoot right over the top of him and reach down in front.
That's Dax Whisker. I said it before the game, and I'll say it again. He is a very impressive player. Three-point opportunity lined up. Off the back iron, no good for Whisker, so the lead stays at 2. Tam, the board being harassed, gets it to Talon. Eldon has numbers on this fast break if they want it. It's skipped to Hardy, back to Talon, but he's going to reset at the volleyball line. 1:30 to play. Mustangs trail by 2 with the ball here in the first quarter. Talon gives it to Red at the top of the key. Uses his quickness to split the double team out to Tam. I don't know if Ahart has got a look in this game. He's not even on the floor right now.
Yeah.
And that's probably in the Smith Cotton scouting report as well. Bayshore skips it to Talon on the right wing. Top of the key, Hardy off double screens, the three off the back iron. Good look for Devin, just didn't fall. Smith Cotton off to the races. Quickly the other way, just up and in, powering that one up. Strong take for Smith Cotton. That was Jacoby Lynn who just checked into the game. Lead at 4 as we hit under a minute to go. Inside to Talon. Talon gets to the short corner. Double team comes out to Devin. Skip pass to Cody. Out to Bayshore. Boy, Deer King is working hard against Bennett down low. Deer King 6'1", 6'2". As the ball, a foul going to be called as Rhett Bayshore is being guarded by Jacoby Lynn. Lynn just a little overzealous with the reach.
I think this basket right here is really important for Eldon, especially in this first quarter. They could get that momentum shift going into the second.
Brittany Ahart checks back into the game for Talon Hole. Talon has been working overtime early in this one. A little trouble getting the ball in for the Mustangs. Tam steps back to meet the pass. Tries to hit the crossover, but it's stripped and stolen. On the run out is Drew Berry. Mustangs get back defensively. They strip it. I don't know about that one. It looked like it was stripped off of Berry out of bounds, but they're going to say last touch by Eldon. So the possession will stay with the Tigers.
You still see a great defensive effort right there, especially getting back, being able to block that shot. Even if the call didn't go our way, we still avoided that quick layup.
3 off the inbounds, rattles home. Big bucket for the Tigers. They increase their lead to 7. 15 seconds to go. Eldon's got plenty of time. Tam races down the floor, hangs in the air, lays it up and in. Cody Tam with a strong take. Smith Cotton, half court heave and a prayer, won't go. Deer King the board. Eldon's got plenty of time, didn't recognize the clock, so they just heave it. It goes out of bounds, and with .2 left, Smith Cotton's going to have time for an inbounds. Both squad trying to go a little faster than they needed to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they quite seen the full amount of time on the clock.
I don't believe they did, but with .2 opposite side of the floor, you don't have time to catch and shoot, so Smith Cotton going to just have to probably catch it and let the quarter expire. And that is indeed what they do. We've played one, and Smith Cotton leads Eldon 13-8. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Take your softball and baseball skills to the next level. The Shed is Eldon's own indoor hitting facility that features 2 full cages with screens, tees, and pitching lanes. You'll love their top-of-the-line pitching machine that throws a variety of speeds with precise locations to perfect your swing. The Shed also has a workout facility. You can add it to your cage rental or just purchase as a regular membership. Open Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 8, and Saturday and Sunday from noon to 8. Look for the big white building across from Gerb's in Eldon. Book times now on Facebook at The Shed LLC. See you at The Shed.
Tax season is here, and so are the deals at Lloyd Belt Automotive. Need a 4-wheel drive that won't break the bank? They've got you covered. They also have vehicles under $19,900, ready to handle whatever winter throws at you. Plus, they're not just about cars. They put every vehicle through a 172-point service inspection and offer complimentary 12-month, 12,000-mile powertrain warranty. At Lloyd Belt, they work with multiple banks and credit unions to get you the best rates and terms, so your wallet's as happy as your new ride. Drive on down to Lloyd Belt Automotive in Eldon, where the deals are hot and the trucks are cooler.
Come out to LOZ Antique Mall, where you'll find the widest selection of antiques and collectibles in the area. LOZ Antique Mall is the lake's newest and biggest antique store around the lake. It boasts over 200 vendors and 18,000 square feet of antiques, collectibles, even some junk, and items change daily. Located along Highway 54, just 6 miles from the new Lake Ozark roundabout. LOZ Antique Mall, open every day except Tuesday. LOZ Antique Mall, where they have it all.
And we are back as we get the second quarter underway. Mustangs trail by 5 with the first possession of this second quarter. Inside is Talon, loses his footing, gets it out to Hardy, lines up a 3 and knocks it down. Big bucket to start the second quarter, Devin Hardy, and the Mustangs have cut it to a 2-point lead.
That's huge starting out the second quarter. They can end this quarter tied up or even ahead. That would be a great momentum for the third.
But an answer the other way by the Tigers. Pulling the quick trigger 3 is Lynn. 16-11. Breaking the press once again are the Mustangs. Bayshore had a look, gets inside, drops it off. Extra pass. Hardy wants another, gets another. Devin Hardy hot-handed here in the second quarter.
That's true. I say you keep feeding them.
Eldon, kind of some token pressure on this press, just trying to not let Smith Cotton go quick, fast, in a hurry. Oh, and it's poke loose from behind by Hardy. Tam with the steal. Gives it up to Ahart. Mustangs down by 2 with the ball. 7 minutes to play here in this second quarter of action. And a foul going to be called on the Tigers. They will say it's on the floor, though.
This is a huge spot for Eldon right here, especially if they can tie this game up or even hit another 3.
Britt, I tell you, right now, Eldon is playing with confidence. I mean, that's key. When you go into a 2-7 matchup, you can't walk in thinking, oh, we're playing the 2 seed. And I don't get the vibe of that at all from the Mustangs.
No, I think they kind of have a chip on their shoulder saying, hey, we're really not the 7 seed team, and our record does not define us who we are as a team.
Ahart to Hull. Any field goal here would tie or take the lead for Eldon. They tried running that backdoor cut for Ahart, as Ahart and Hines both back into the game. Hardy, a little hesitation inside and puts it in. Devin Hardy, 5'9", battling with the bigs inside. We're tied at 16 apiece.
I say Devin Hardy does not play like he's 5'9".
No, Devin Hardy has no idea how big he is. Oh, and what a play by Ahart. Blocks the shot. Hines recovers. Eldon could take the lead with any points here. 6:20 to go. Reminder, this game streaming at MoSportsZone.com after this one. The Camdenton Lakers, Fatima Comets. You can hear it on our sister station, Mix 92.7, and that game will also be streaming at MoSportsZone.com or on the new MoSportsZone app. In the short corner, Ahart goes to work. Backing down Whisker. Skip pass is picked off, though. Smith Cotton on the run out, and that's got to be a... What's the call?
I think they're going to call a shove on Hines.
Oh, I tell you what, if Hines hadn't got called for that push, Devin Hardy got trucked, and I think that was going to go the other way. But Hines trying to stop the fast break layup. That's just the first team foul, also first on Hines, so no major issues there. 6 minutes to play, knotted up 16 apiece in this 2-7 matchup. And this is, look at this inbounds. I mean, Smith Cotton lines up all the way outside the three-point line and then just slashes guys to the basket. Inbounds is bobbled, finally controlled, forced up, won't go. Talon Hole, another board.
He just flew right on in there, didn't even...
Oh, but it's picked off. Quick hands from the Smith Cotton defense off to the races. Boy, that is athletic ability being shown there, as hanging in the air and scoring was Robert Balance.
That was a great job for Smith Cotton to get down the floor, but I got to give props to Hardy. He beat the kid down the floor coming from behind.
Yeah, Hardy wins most foot races. There's no issues there. Trapped in the corner in a bad spot was Bayshore, so a timeout going to be called by the Mustang bench. Just a 30, so we'll go ahead and hold it here. I mean, it's 18-16. Eldon has shown they can really hang with Smith Cotton. The big thing for me is you have got to keep the Tigers off the board. Britt, do you think it's safe to say that at least 8 of the points given up in this one have been because of offensive rebounds?
I think it is extremely safe to say. In those 8 points, I mean, you take those, even 2 of those rebounds away, I mean, you're leading the game right now. I think boxing out and getting those offensive and defensive boards are huge and can be critical to the end of this game. I also believe they're doing a better job crashing the boards. We see Talon getting in there and playing with those bigs and coming out on top with it.
Well, that's the big thing for Eldon. Being a Class 4 squad and lacking size like they do, you have to be able to battle inside despite, you know, having 6'4" as your biggest guy out there. There's a lot of teams they're going to run into that 6'4" is a 2-guard.
I think something else that we may need to see happening is getting Cody and Britton on the board a little more. We haven't seen too much out of them tonight.
Cody was active early. Inside, Hardy dishes it out. Ahart, wing 3. Oh, off the back iron. Good look. But off on the run out are the Tigers. Back the other way, Smith Cotton gets another offensive board, lays it up and in, and their lead grows to 4. Get Ryan set up here. Oh, a steal by the Tigers. That is a back-to-back quick buckets. Eldon needs to stop this run. Ryan, I'm going to hand this off to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Multitasking. It's another turnover. Smith Cotton to the rim, fouled by Hull, and will go to the free throw line. Oh, here, I can do. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, you handed me the stat. Which one do you want? You handed me the stat sheet, but took the scoreboard. How you doing?
It's been a fun one. We were tied at 16 apiece just a moment ago, but out of the timeout, the Tigers, a quick run here, a flurry of 6 points. This is a big athletic Smith Cotton squad.
Right, and one that honestly, on paper, should probably overwhelm Eldon at the beginning, but Eldon was not shocked at all. It seemed like they're well prepared and came into the game. I mean, Devin Hardy, 2 big three-pointers for you. That's what you kind of been missing. So.
Well, and his last one going right to the iron when you've got, 6'4", 6'5" out there for Smith Cotton, is the second free throw is good, 23-16.
Yeah, to 5 whatever, Devin Hardy probably feels like 6'7" on the inside there.
About that. They have 6'7" that came off the bench already as well. Ahart to Tam on the run out. Takes the contact and hits the support, but Cody will go to the line. I will say the one thing that's remained consistent, Eldon is faster off the rebound on the run out right now. If they can use that speed to their advantage, they may be able to get to the line a little bit more.
Well, that's why it's interesting to me that you see a press out of Smith Cotton. Now, the Class 6 team probably does think they can come in here and do whatever they typically do, but Eldon's usually pretty quick and doesn't really have a problem with front court or back court pressure, that is.
I may be crazy in saying this as Tam knocks down the first free throw. To me, the Class 6 basketball I've watched, I feel like there's a lot more half court involved, so they don't necessarily go as fast all the time because I think they want their one-on-one matchups because a lot of Class 6 schools do have your D1, D2 prospects out there that they know we need a bucket, we give it to him and clear out.
I think you see more press on the southern side and then on the up north, like especially the CMAC one-on-one basketball, honestly.
Well, you saw 2 made free throws there from Tam to cut it back to 5. Spin move, blocked from behind by Hines, but not without getting some contact. So Robert Balance will go back to the line. Balance has been very effective early in this game. The 6'3" junior guard. Excuse me, he's a senior guard. I thought he was just a junior.
Smith Cotton, the 1 seed, right?
2 seed.
2 seed, okay.
No, we saw the 1 seed Eugene last night in action as Balance's first free throw rattled off. Give the Tigers their credit. It was a 6-point game at halftime for Sales and Eugene.
It's not an easy team to play against.
No, it was a close game through the third. Eugene opened it up a little bit, wound up winning by right around 20 in the end. But, I mean, Versailles came out with a very good defensive plan and really made Eugene work for it. But that's a Eugene squad that's #1 in Class 3 basketball for a reason.
They got some talent out there.
Second free throw for Balance, rattles out, and the board hauled in by Ahart. Britton has it stripped out of bounds. We'll say last touch by the Tigers. But still, just a 5-point game with 4:40 to go here in the second.
It's 2 big missed free throws right there, able to cut into this lead a little bit, 4:44. We saw Eldon, although giving up the 3-pointer, they had a nice response there to end the first quarter. I think ending some of these quarters strong would really help them.
Ahart pulls up the mid-range jumper on the fade. Fight for the board, tipped out of bounds. They'll say last touch by Deerking. And ball back to the Tigers. I don't think that Britton's gotten the scoring column.
Unless he scored while we were handing off the paper, which I don't think he did. I do like that move, though, from Ahart. That's like, getting to a spot that he wanted to get to. Sees that spot on the baseline, and nice move getting there, just not finishing on the shot. You're going to want to see him get a few more shots up if they want to stay in this game.
Well, Britton has kind of moved into a facilitator role. Honestly,
he's done it well.
Oh, he has. He's got a high basketball IQ. But Cody Tam's really come to life offensively the last few games. As, by the way, Bennett at 6'7" is running that high post right now. Just a freshman for Smith Cotton. And he's down there battling with Deerking. They go to the block. Deerking pokes it loose, and it's picked up by Hardy. What a job by Mason.
And you've got a younger guy on you, right? And Deerking a little bit older, and you double in the paint and give Mason some help.
Mason matured a lot with 1 game winner. Yeah. Talon, all of the contact on the way to the basket. They're going to call it on the floor. I thought he was going to get 2 free throws, but nonetheless.
He probably shouldn't have got it on the floor, but that little head nod that we've seen a lot lately in high school basketball will get you a lot of fouls early. And so he didn't get fouled early, but he sold like he got fouled early, and they call it instead on the shot.
3 team fouls for both squads here. It mounts to Ahart over to Bayshore. Fires it back to Hardy coming off screens, but great defense by the Tigers. Deerking a shot fake. I will say Bennett is big, but he is raw as a freshman. Scoop shot off the glass, Bayshore. What a finish by Rhett, and it's back to a 3-point game.
Well, you shouldn't really be able to score in the paint when you got a shot blocker like that, right? But Bayshore just not really worried about it attacking anyways.
Rhett Bayshore and Devin Hardy as a 3 lined up for Whisker. Halfway down, wouldn't go. Bennett, the offensive board. Putback comes off the iron. He gets his own miss. That one rattles out. Deerking cleans it up. Hardy to Bayshore on the run out. Hangs in the air, and the shot wouldn't climb the iron. He strips it loose from Bennett, but Smith Cotton has it, wants to run. Whisker hanging around, working against Ahart. Tough finish.
Yeah, that's tough right there. Sometimes you got to tip your cap, and maybe that is where the separation in 2 to 7 is here, right? Smith Cotton can finish around the rim a little bit better, but you're still very well in this. So
Deerking left open, corner 3, and it draws front iron. Off to the on the run out, Whisker spin move on the block, and it's short. Another rebound, Talon hole. Player literally trips over Talon, but play on.
Just go ahead, keep going on. No one saw it.
Just a 5-point game with 2:40 to play in the second. Talon making a little space with a couple jab steps. Coach Caudell calling out something to his offense. Britton Ahart now Skips it over to Talon. They're flashing Hardy high off a double screen. Wanted the three, but he's ran off the line. Goes to Britton on the left wing. They've overloaded. He's got a driving lane. Goes to the block. Hangs in the air. Shot just a smidge too strong. Winds up on the floor. Smith Cotton wants to run. Extra pass underneath, laid up and in. Smith Cotton had numbers, and they used them.
Smith Cotton kind of scoring fast in a hurry, right? They get one bucket, and then all of a sudden it's 3 buckets. And Eldon's had to work really hard for everything in this game.
And another turnover by the Mustangs, nearly restolen by Talon Hole, but it is poked out of bounds and will at least stop the fast break with 1:57 to play in the second.
Hey, I mean, obviously you have to have some balls bounce your way, but also if you can just stop the bleeding a little quicker on these runs, because the Smith Cotton runs are why they have a 7-point lead right now. Eldon will fight back into it, and then right there is the response from Smith Cotton. Just got to flip the script at some point.
So
I like what. Sorry, not to interrupt. I like what we've seen out of Eldon defensively, kind of switching back and forth, and they're a smart team. They should be able to do that, and Coach Caudell does a good job instilling it in them as well.
And this inbounds, once again, Smith Cotton runs everybody from the three-point line. Mid-range jumper left open, won't fall. Dierking the board.
It's a big stop.
If Eldon can draw within 5, you feel really good for one half a ball here. Because Eldon's offense has not been what it's capable of with only 20 points. Talon drive inside through the contact. Blocking foul going to be called. That's going to go against Nakaya Cole, and that should send Talon to the free throw line.
You see something new every time you watch a play. I don't know if you saw that. It would have been a charge, but there was an Eldon player keeping the Smith Cotton player up. Like he was standing behind. You know,
he almost pushed him a little. Oh, they're calling that on the.
Everything's new.
Nonetheless, that's the 4th team foul. Anything else is free throws. Tam gets it in the short corner. Spin move. Hangs in the air. Off the glass. Won't go. Dierking the offensive board. Fights through contact. And it's kept alive by Tam. Turnaround jumper. Oh, rolls off the iron again. 3 good looks for the Mustangs. Just wouldn't fall.
Touched every single part.
Shot forced up from Smith Cotton. Great box out Devin Hardy. But the rebound picked off. Mid-range jumper up and good. Turnovers are killing Eldon right now.
Oh, that hurts really bad because you had 3 offensive rebounds on the other end. And now a turnover again.
Yeah, just a bad decision on the inbounds pass. Rhett Bayshore able to steal it back. Nearly loses it going to Talon. It's stripped again. Bayshore has it, and Eldon will call the timeout. The wheels were coming off fast on that one, and Coach Caudell could see the writing on the wall.
I think that was a strong timeout here. You need a strong, really, really good finish to this first half. And calling that timeout, possessing the ball, slowing things down was probably needed.
Ryan, if you take a look to the right of us, this is the same company, I promise, just 2 very different setups. The man next to you is Denny Benny, by the way, and that's Ricky next to him. Denny, this is Ryan Retone, the future of Benny Media. And they will have the next game on deck, Camdenton Lakers versus the Fatima Comets.
That'll be a good game.
It should be. I think it's going to be quick, fast, and in a hurry because Fatima's never seen a team they didn't want to run with, and the Lakers are full of athletes, so you know they're going to get up and down the floor.
Yeah, that should be a really, really fast-paced game. I'll tell you, I knew I was in Eldon when I walked in, and the smells were just amazing.
Oh,
the food that was being cooked smelled so
top-notch. Breaking the press with ease this time are the Mustangs as Tam gets cross half court. The trap comes. He finds hole in the middle of the floor. Skips it out to Bayshore. Corner 3 off the back iron. Would have been a big bucket. But now Smith Cotton off the long rebound wants to run, and boy, that's tough.
That's just athletic. I mean, sometimes you come into a game and you're just like, hey, man, that's a nice move. Good take.
It's now ballooned to an 11-point lead. The lob to Tam up and in. So of everything that won't fall, the alley-oop is good.
I don't know that Tam gets that pass if you throw a normal pass. Throwing it up and letting Tam go.
Look at the defense of Bayshore all over Javion Dye. But Smith Cotton does break the press. 20 seconds to go. Attacks. Hangs off the iron. Won't go. Rebound tipped out of bounds. And we'll say it was last touched by Talon.
A stop here is needed. I'd say it's the only way that you give yourself some momentum going into the second half. But a stop and a score?
Yeah, a stop and a score, absolutely. And, boy, Smith Cotton has thrown multiple looks on the inbounds at Eldon. This time they stack the 4 corners and screen away, and it'll be lofted into the wing. As we hit 15 seconds to play, and the attack dished out. Another drive, lost the ball. Going to the corner, it's tipped and recovered. So we hit 9 seconds. Inside, spin move on the block. Off the glass, rattles and falls. Tough finish. 3 seconds left. Eldon, enough time to heave it. Tam sees it, throws it up. But a little too much juice on that one.
Been in the weight room here at Eldon.
Cody's been working hard. We played one half. Mustangs trail by 11, 33-22. When we come back, you're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Every day, your Jefferson City and Osage Beach Hy-Vee pharmacies are committed to your health and wellness. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, Medicare Advantage plans, and most commercial plans, they'll cover up to 8 over-the-counter COVID-19 tests per month at no cost through Hy-Vee. Most plans cover these costs and no prescription is required. Stop in at your Osage Beach or Jefferson City Hy-Vee pharmacy and see the helpful pharmacy staff today.
When you're looking for a new furnace or air conditioner, price is important, but warranty, reliability, and efficiency are big factors too. At DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling, you'll receive very competitive pricing on the industry-leading AirEase products. Every AirEase product is built on 80 years of experience, testing, and research. Servicing the Lake and Jefferson City areas for nearly 15 years, DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling. For reliable products offered by reliable people, call DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling.
Hi, I'm Colton Taylor, and I use Versailles Total Fitness. Their 24-hour access makes it easy for me to fit gym time into my busy schedule. I love how spacious and versatile their gym is. With a wide selection of free weights, cable machines, and all the cardio equipment you could need, I have plenty of options to help me stay in shape to cover our local sports teams. They work hard to provide a clean, safe, and comfortable environment. Join me and everyone else at Versailles Total Fitness in becoming a healthier you. Versailles Total Fitness at 31 North Monroe, or give them a call at 573-789-6800.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and welcome to Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales. Do you need a trailer to get your boat out of the water? Maybe just a replacement trailer. Or considering selling your boat and you know a trailer will help get it done. We carry 11 lines of high-quality boat trailers, and if we don't have what you need, we also build our very own line of custom aluminum boat trailers. Thanks to everyone that's been by or just heard of us and gave us a referral. From my family to yours, we can't thank you enough.
GT Brothers Automotive is a locally owned dealership trying to give customers a great vehicle at an incredible price and even better service after the sale. They're home of the complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty that gives you peace of mind after your purchase, and they also offer some of the best finance rates in Central Missouri with bank and credit unions. GT Brothers invites you to stop by and look over their hand-selected inventory of cars, pickups, vans, and SUVs. GT Brothers Automotive, located on Business Highway 54 South in Eldon. Call them at 573-557-2200.
We're back with the Hy-Vee halftime show here on our Martin Metal broadcast, live from the 94th annual Eldon tournament. This is the 2-7 matchup as 2-seed Smith Cotton leads 7-seed Eldon by a score of 33-22. Ryan, if you take out the last 2 minutes of that first half, this is like a 4 or 5 point game.
Yeah, it felt like that Eldon really rode with the punches there for a while, and then the athleticism maybe overwhelmed them a little bit. Not saying Eldon isn't athletic, right? But there's a lot of depth in a school that's bigger than you, in a school that's the 2-seed in the tournament. And I thought Smith Cotton kind of imposed their will there at the end. The halftime break came at a needed time. You can go into the locker room, regroup, talk things over, and then come out a little fresh here in the second half.
See, here's the thing. Athleticism is key, but I'm just going to throw some things out here and you tell me there's difference. Yeah. For Eldon, Britton Ahart, 6'4".
Yeah.
Cody Tam, 6'2". Let's see. What do they put Mr. Deer King at? 6'2"? Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I stood next to him the other day. And let's see. How does that stack up with the big guys for Smith Cotton? Well, guard Drew Berry is 6'4". Guard Dax Whisker is 6'4". Right. Guard Robert Balance is 6'3". Nakia Cole is 6'2". Jaquise Bennett, who has been on the floor, is 6'7".
Yeah.
I'm not saying height has played a factor, but when a good 10 of your points have come off the offensive boards, height is a factor.
Oh, I think that, and when I say athleticism, I always think length. Like, I know they don't go hand in hand, but when I look on the floor, that's the arms, right? Like, they don't have to do much to be in the passing lanes compared to what Eldon has to do. Eldon has to literally see it, jump out, and go grab it. Smith Cotton, when you got 4 or 5 inches on a player, just reach your arm out and say, hey, it's my ball right now. And it changes the game. I think Eldon has done a good job, but some of those passes that maybe in conference, Tri-County isn't loaded, but those games or district games, we don't get picked off or don't get tipped, they're getting affected right now. And that makes it tough.
Well, not to mention, Eldon has just started conference play.
Right.
And Like I said, you gotta remember class size is a factor, and Smith Cotton is a part of that monstrous conference in Class 6 that the Camdenton Lakers that we'll see next are a part of as well. I mean, you went to Nixa High School, so you know better than anybody. What you see in Class 6 athletics versus Class 4, Class 3, Class 2 athletics is often very, very different.
Yeah, you hate to like ever say that one team couldn't beat another team because we see it with like Tipton, for example. They go out and beat Class 6 schools.
That's different. They don't see classifications.
Yes, but more often than not, you see it happen a lot on the guys' game. Like the body types are just different in terms of depth as well. You might get one or two kids that come around to Eldon every once in a while that are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". A lot of Class 6 teams have 2 or 3 that are rolling around their gym every single day. They probably have one that plays on the freshman level, one that plays on the JV level. Not saying you can't come in and upset one of those teams, and I think Eldon's had a good game plan, but it does take a more organized style of basketball. You have to be really confident in every pass you make because second-guess yourself once, all of a sudden they're running out in transition and dunking the ball. I've seen it be done. It is tough, though.
No, that's the thing. Looking at the Mustangs, the tallest player they have is actually a freshman named Landon Whittle. He's 6'6" already and still growing. But I mean, it makes a big difference. By the way, you mentioned those Tipton girls coming up next week. Kind of sort of a big game, as I believe it's Thursday night next week. The heavyweight main event as Skyline comes to town. Number one,
I didn't even know.
The defending state champions versus the ones that you could argue are coming for the crown are about to duke it out at Tipton. Ryan, that's got great game written all over it.
That's a banger. And I looked at a matchup just recently that I was calling for William Woods' school, and it was like the home team had won like the last 12 or 13 meetings. It's kind of how it is in this rivalry.
Absolutely.
Like whoever has that home court advantage, they come out hot. And you know Tipton's going to be ready to play after trying to avenge 2 losses to them last season, but you know, I think that maybe we thought Skyline wouldn't have as improved as much as Tipton did. Tipton getting
Maddie Carball.
Yeah, Maddie Carball. That's a big ad, right? But I think Skyline's had some good results, and this could be a good game.
I mean, Maddie and Charlie just hit their 1,500th point in the same game the other night.
That's pretty cool.
Ava just went over the 1,000-point mark. Clara's knocking on its door, so yeah, it's going to be quite a game. I think we're going to have a good game here in the second half. 33-22. Smith Cotton leads by 11. More of the Hy-Vee halftime show and start of the third quarter. When we come back, you're listening to KS-95 Sports.
For over 87 years, Community Point Bank has proudly served Central Missouri with exceptional customer service and the latest in mobile banking and online banking technology. Their local professional banking staff will be happy to assist you with all aspects of your financial journey. Whether you want to open a personal or business bank account or need to apply for a home loan, auto loan, livestock, or agricultural loan, Community Point Bank has what you need. Stop by one of their 3 locations in Russellville, Eugene, and Versailles. Visit their website, ourcpb.bank. Member FDIC.
Martin Metal, just outside of Versailles, Missouri, is proud to announce the operation of our new laminated post-production plant. We now offer our customers high-quality glued, nailed, and planed 3-ply, 4-ply, and 5-ply columns. Yellow pine and treated 2x6 and 2x8 constructed. These posts won't split, warp, or twist and are backed by a 50-year warranty against rotten decay. Order by the job, the bundle, or the truckload, as we offer delivery in Missouri and across the heartland of America. Call Martin Metal to find out more. 573-378-4050 and move your project forward with Martin Metal.
Sold out crowd at RE/MAX Arena at Lake of the Ozarks, and Winter Shelton's got 5 seconds left to win this deal. Can they pull it off? Inbound passes to Shelton at the top of the key. They try to double team him. Shelton crosses over the competition with some razzle dazzle. 2, 1. He shoots the game winner, and it's Winter Shelton for the win. Shelton is crushing it. When buying a home or real estate, put the ball in Winter Shelton's hands for the game winner. Winter Shelton's crushing it, yeah.
Since 1882, the Bank of Versailles has been locally owned and operated. Lending decisions are made right here in our community by people who understand real estate in the area. The Bank of Versailles is your local home and farm loan specialist, offering knowledgeable staff and competitive fixed rates that are hard to beat. The Bank of Versailles, building relationships with the people in our local community for 142 years. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
As we get ready to jump into the American Sun Control third quarter of action, Britt, what's your keys to the second half?
Rebound, control the rebound, don't let them steal off the rebound, and take the rebound down the court.
I'll add one more. Box out. which goes with rebounding.
I'm going to go with both of those and say don't turn the ball over as much.
Well, that's part of it, too. Pass fakes.
Boy, we've got all the keys. I tell you what, we could run a fundamental basketball camp up here.
We really could. I don't know how talented our players would end up being, but, man, they would know how to do the
We would be able to produce the Tim Duncans of the Midwest. People be picking up their kids and be like, why is my boy only shooting bank shots? I'll be like, but does he turn it over?
There's nothing like whenever you show up to pick up and someone's hitting bank shots from the free throw line.
Oh, you know you're in for it then. Smith Cotton, the first possession of this second half. 33-22 is the Tiger lead over the Mustangs. Eldon comes out. Well, I don't know what that defense is. It's a 3-2, I guess. They're just extending the top. Unless it's a box and one jump, but a jump ball is forced.
I don't know. Regardless, I don't think that should have been a jump ball. The ball came out of his hands, but Eldon's going to take a turnover right there.
I really want to see that defense again because it looked like a box, and the one at the top, I don't know if it's a matchup,
yeah,
or if it's a 3-2 and they're letting the top just extend.
They run a lot of complicated defenses.
They've switched 3 different times. They went from man to start out, back to a 3-2, back to man. Talon making some space, flips it ahead to Hardy. Hardy breaks the press, skips it to Cody. Tam drives baseline to the short corner. It's taken away, and just a soft turnover by the Mustangs. Can't have those in the second half. Smith got on the run out. It's poked loose, recorralled. Whisker on the block, tries to spin. Tam comes on the double team. Whisker keeps that pivot, uses it, and banks it in.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the difference. Like typically there's someone in there your height guarding you, but he's able to just go over the top because it's whole.
Hines' shot is short. Smith Cotton the run out. Could have been a carry, but instead it's a lay-in, and the lead is ballooned to 15 quickly.
I've been really impressed with Drew Berry, just a sophomore. They've got something nice brewing over in Smith Cotton.
Yeah, this is a good young squad for the Tigers. Hole going to reset it. Straight man for Smith Cotton. They run Britton off a couple screens, but he's taken away. Hardy comes up to meet the pass just in front of the logo. Working against Malachi Reed.
Need to get in the rhythm, right? Not a lot of flow here in the second half. Not a lot of movement.
Very choppy, very one-on-one. Ahart comes up, sets the screen for Talon. Talon goes to the basket, stops, drops it off to Hardy. He'll pull the trigger on a 3. It's off the front iron. Talon saves it, just throws it back blindly. It's picked up by Smith Cotton. They want to run. The pass is tipped, but corralled by Whisker. Extra pass dumped off left side, layup up and good.
You see a timeout here.
It's a 17-point lead. I mean, Smith Cotton's come off and rattled off 6 straight points. I mean, this is just a matter of if you're going to play a team that is bigger and more athletic, you have to execute. If you're going to come out with 3 turnovers that fast, you're going to find yourself in trouble.
Oh, I think I mentioned it in the first half. Like they're scoring in flurries. I mean, one bucket is quickly 4, 5, 6, and it's from turnovers, really. The moment that anyone scores is, okay, we're good over here. Something fell. I didn't know. It wasn't us, thankfully.
Nah, Ricky's breaking stuff before the game begins. You know, you gotta do it upright.
Right. They score in flurries, and you allow one bucket, and then they want to play defense a little harder, and there's just some turnovers, and then all of a sudden you've given up 6 or 8 points. I like the timeout here, and I think the huddle identifies what's going on, and they're just trying to come together a little bit.
Well, I'd like to see Eldon come out and be able to control the rock a little bit. The problem is you got to start cutting into this lead quickly. You're down by 17 with 6:13 to go in the American Sun Control third quarter, of action.
Okay, I'm sorry, not to cut. Who is Dennis Rodman on the Eldon bench?
So that, funny enough, that is his favorite player. That is Landon Whittle. He is 6 foot.
Awesome.
He is 6'6" as a freshman. And the kid, I mean, he's got good ball control and all that, and is still growing, they believe. And actually, that is his favorite player. Coach Caudell made a kind of a deal with him at the first game. It was like, dude, I don't know about the hair. If you're going to keep that, you got to have at least 20 rebounds in this JV game.
He had 20 rebounds?
He had 23.
Well, they've got a good future here in Eldon coming up.
To say, like I said, I've watched the kids. Sometimes when you're 6'6", that young, you're awkward. He's not. Wow. He's got a nice mid-range jumper, too. Hardy gives it to Ahart to break the press. Little hesitation, drives baseline. Britton, a strong take, and it just wouldn't go. Smith Cotton quickly back the other way. Oh, it's poked loose by Devin, but saved by the Tigers. Baseline drive picked up, extra pass underneath, secondary extra pass to Whisker, who lays it up and in. Boy, Smith Cotton moves the ball well.
They've come out here in the second half and really had an emphasis on passing the ball around the zone.
And soft pass again is a turnover. Extra pass, Whisker with the lay-in. Smith Cotton is feasting on soft turnovers right now.
Soft turnovers, and they're really playing as more of a team here in the second half. I thought we saw more of a one-on-one game in the beginning, as there's going to be a foul whistled.
I think it's going to be a reach on Drew Barry, who you were very complimentary of just a few moments ago.
He's super athletic. Just looks like a guy that when he grows into his body a little bit, like really lengthy right now, really skinny. Give him 2 years of a weight room and, like an eating program, stuff like that. He's got like that Division I build.
Well, he's just a sophomore, so yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a scary thought. Smith Cotton, like you said, has a lot of talent here. Talon looking to attack right side, just bodies the defender, counting the foul. That's a big boy bucket for Talon Hole.
Talon using his body, kind of throwing it into the defender, getting him to fly off, and then squaring up to the basket, not just chucking it up to get the foul, squaring up to the basket and finishing with an and one.
Coach Caudell telling his squad, hey, we got to just calm down, reset, and do what we need to do. Talon, very patient with the free throw. His three-point opportunity is good. 43-25, back to 18.
Needed that one in probably the worst way you can need a bucket.
You're Eldon. You just, once again, one possession at a time. Got to try to get a stop and a bucket on the other end.
Man now.
Oh, hesitation in the drive. Help defense was late. An and one opportunity coming up on the take.
Help was just a little late getting there. Almost slid all the way over, but I mean, that's a nice take, man. And
Dax Whisker,
he's taking over.
6'4", a junior. I mean, he was impressive as a sophomore, and he's only gotten better. He's also filled out a little bit. He's not a scrawny 6'4".
Oh, and you're just looking at this team, and they don't have a whole lot that's not coming back that has scored the basketball in this game. He had 21 out of Whisker and just a junior. Oh.
Smith Cotton keeping with that press. Skipped over to Hardy. He gets to the middle of the floor, finds Talon. Talon gets the defense to bite. Oh, was looking back door to Tam. I thought Smith Cotton might have had the last touch, but nonetheless, it'll be ball back to the Tigers. They're saying it went off Cody.
Again, passes that maybe get through. You see who was cutting on the backside? Was that
Cody Tam?
Yeah, you see Tam cutting on the backside and the defender in the paint, right? You should have enough room to make that pass. Defender's got enough length to just put an arm out and tip it, and then it hits off Tam's leg and goes out of bounds.
Bringing the ball before Javion Dye, being harassed by Rhett Bayshore. Uses a little pick and roll action. Tam hedges. Smith Cotton willing to be patient here. It's tipped by Hardy. Tipped a second time by Hardy, but winds up back with Reed. Reed gives it up and just hanging in the air. Oh, shot won't fall. Stripped by Hull, but they're going to call a foul on him, and that will send Robert Balance to the free throw line.
You know what? It might have been okay to get away with that one, right? Ball's going up, getting the hand in there. I think that he tied him up a little bit, but still.
And a 21-point game, you got to take those breaches, try to put the ball where you can. Plus, only the second team foul here, first on Talon. No, third on Talon, excuse me. They do that kind of weird. Instead of putting player number than fouls, they do number of fouls on that player.
This is how it is at William Woods when I call games. I get so confused because then I have to look backwards, and it'll throw you off a little bit.
First free throw, no good. Second one coming up for Robert Balance.
It's really confusing when you actually have a number 3 on the floor.
Yeah.
And then,
Second free throw is good, which Smith Cotton will get some more size out on the floor as the freshman, Jaquise Bennett, 6'7", returns to the court.
So even unpolished as a freshman, I mean.
6'7", 6'7".
That might have traveled.
Refs didn't call, so it doesn't count. Hull ahead to Bayshore, fires to Hardy in the corner. Bennett closes out on him. Hardy skips it back up to Talon. 4:20 to play in the American Sun Control third quarter. Talon trying to make a little space. Finds Bayshore. A couple quick crossovers, gets inside, drops it off to Deerking. Boy, Smith Cotton closes out fast, but 3 lined up from Bayshore off the back iron. And
good box out.
Absolutely. Javion Dye was not giving up any space. Quick trigger corner 3 for Smith Cotton. Won't go. Bennett the offensive board. He's blocked by Talon.
His play there by Hull.
6'7", blocked by 6 foot. You don't see that often, but a steal off the fast break. Alley-oop from half court wouldn't go. Bayshore's got the board.
You know what? Why not? I can get behind trying that. That'd have been pretty cool if it would have went in, honestly. Slow things down here.
Lead stays at 47-25. Talon to Hardy, who has to save it in the corner. Skips it. Tam, he'll try a wing 3. Off the back iron, wouldn't go. And Bennett is just tall. Nobody stops. Ball pass underneath, laid up and in. Malachi Reed another bucket, and it's 49-25. Bayshore, a little hesitation. We're going back to Hardy. Talon. 3 minutes to play in the American Sun Control third. Strong take. Talon flips it up, but there's two bigs waiting for it, and Bennett's got another board. Now on the run out, left hand won't go. Rebound tipped and winds up in the hands of Mason Deerking.
It's kind of taking the form of like a pickup game. Both teams going back and forth. You know, some people getting down the court, some not because it's so fast. And
it's gotten a smidge unorthodox and sloppy. I don't think Coach Caudell's thrilled with that, as it looks like Lincoln Salzman's about to check in. They run Devin off a couple screens trying to free him up, but a good job, Javion Dye, giving no space.
What are you going to do?
Dangerous pass. They're trying to feed Tam on the back cut. It's picked off on the run out. Layup up and in. That time it was Simon Gladish with the bucket.
Yeah, that last turnover, though, they just got a big in the paint. This got the wingspan of a 7-footer.
Skip to Bayshore. It's a 26-point game.
Yeah.
It was 11 at the half, but the third quarter has been all Smith Cotton, as they have held Eldon to just 5 points in this third quarter. So substitution for the Mustangs as Lincoln Salzman will check in for Talon Hole.
Eldon's only scored 3 points in this third quarter.
Did they have 22 at the half?
Yeah, it was 22.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they had 20 at the half. My bad.
Yeah, I was going to Talon Hole, the and one. That's all that they've had. So,
wow.
That's 6 minutes of basketball. Ooh.
Pick and roll for Bennett. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was going to try to jam that for a second.
That rim would have been punished 2 years from now. I mean, did you see the way he attacked?
Oh, yeah. And he is a steal and, well, player lost his footing. That was either going to be a dunk or a layup, and it chose to be neither. Shot won't go for the Mustangs. Put back from Salzman, no good. Strong box out. Tigers have it. Lobbed ahead, knocked loose, but regained by Smith Cotton, and the shot up and in. It's a 30-point lead. How do you put it? Eldon had a very strict way of playing basketball here. They're trying to run a little clock and do things a certain way, and I kind of feel like they broke ranks a little bit here in the third. Ahart, strong take, but just couldn't finish. Bennett, another board.
Got to get back on defense here.
Oh, quick trigger three on the fast break from Smith Cotton. Won't go, but offensive board handed to Bennett, and he just lost the ball. You generally don't want to see your 6'7" freshman trying to dribble too much.
Or really bend over at all, do anything below the waist.
If you can keep it high, you're probably better off if you're him.
Seriously. I think back to your point about the pace and you do have to think in the second half, do I want to play score control or do we want to try to come out and go on a run and win this game? And you do have to play a little bit faster, but I did think it was unorthodox of Eldon, how fast they played in the second half and a little uncontrolled, They let Smith Cotton control the tempo.
Eldon on offense, looking to make space. It's Tam. Spin move. Going through the contact, won't go. Offensive board kept alive, put up and in by Britton Ahart.
There's a pass right there.
I just got a text from our buddy Craig Allen watching the game. His Osage Indians got a big win last night over Boonville. That was an upset as Osage was the 5, Boonville the 4, plus a Tri-County win. So Osage moves on to the winner's side of the bracket. And once again, you can catch their next matchup on Cool 102.7 and MoSportsZone.com. Little floater, middle of the lane, falls for Javion Dye again.
You've got two bigs crashing down the baseline that are bigger than anyone on your team, and they were actually guards crashing on the baseline, and then you got a guard coming into the middle that's bigger than anyone on your team. You have to pick one or the other, and that's brutal.
Smith Cotton has outscored Eldon by 19 here in the third. Ahart drives. He's contested by Bennett. The shot won't fall. We played 3, and at the end of the American Sun Control third quarter of action, it's all Smith Cotton, 57-27. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
As a new year rolls in, it's time for everyone's favorite thing, taxes. Okay, while it may not be our favorite thing, it's something we have to do. Jason Blankenship, CPA, LLC, is here to take the stress out of tax time. Whether it's W-2 and 1099 filing or business and individual taxes, the staff at Jason Blankenship, CPA, LLC, is here to help with all your payroll, accounting, and tax needs. Give us a call at 573-557-2417 or stop in and see us at 401 East North Street in Eldon.
Aye, Captain, the seas of the Ozarks are too rough. Me and crew can't secure the screens and railings. She'll never be installed right. She ain't sturdy, Captain. Rest assured, you'll see calmer seas this winter. And have American Sun Control secure powder-coated railings and screens for shade, too. While the lake is calm this winter, let American Sun Control install your dock and deck screens and railings. Come in, call, and look them up online and Facebook. American Sun Control.
And we are back as we enter the fourth quarter of action. Jason Blankenship, CPA, fourth quarter. Ryan, I'm not big on moral victories, but if you're Eldon, you're just trying to cut into this 30-point lead.
Literally anything. I think moreover after that third quarter and how sloppy it was and everything, I think you're really just hoping that Eldon comes out and plays their style of basketball. If you're Coach Caudell, in the third quarter, try to bring it back. Try to play that chaotic style of basketball and maybe force a few turnovers, get back in the game. But now just play your game.
I thought we were getting into medical terminology there, like a sciatic.
No, I think I was just getting sped up because of the pace of the game, right?
Okay, thank you. Put in from Bennett on the inside. Layup up and good, 59-27. It's a 32-point lead. Salzman in the corner, drives, skips it to Hardy, passes tipped, but Devin corrals it. Just straight man here from Smith Cotton, as it's looking like they're going to move on to the winner's bracket. Oh, layup underneath Hines. That's a tough bucket.
And something to feel good about. Hines scored in the first quarter, hadn't scored since, so 4 points for him now tonight.
Like I said, I've heard a lot about Smith Cotton, but I hadn't really got to see it firsthand. And Smith Cotton is so weird because they have up and down seasons. I've seen years, they play Versailles in the regular season as a tough take. Malachi Reed with the body did not seem to care as he lays it up and in. There have been years that, they play the Tigers. We've covered the game, and it's a 40-point blowout that Versailles wins.
Yeah.
And then there's years that a squad like this comes out. I think part of that's just, you're in Sedalia. You got a big group to choose from.
Yeah, well, it's really weird because realistically, being in Sedalia, they don't feel like a Class 6 school athletically because a lot of the proportionary things, like the athletes, are not very big. They don't have a lot of athletes. Oh, almost a dunk.
Almost only counts in horseshoes, and we're not playing that here tonight.
Yeah, no. They don't have a ton of athletes, but then years they'll come in and they do get those Class 6 athletes and they're studs. And
bank shot. Was that Talon?
Yeah.
Nice little bank from Talon Hole a la Tim Duncan.
But last year, I thought that they had a few young guys that maybe could be something. This year, they've formulated it into something pretty good, and moving forward, it could be dangerous.
Ooh,
what?
Do they call an and one?
Yeah.
I'm saying this as a fan of basketball. Jacques Bennett, he's got good footwork. He's got good size. He's a big guy. He's not, the more I look at him, he's not scrawny.
No.
He's got a little muscle to him. If you keep working with him as a freshman, he is going to be a problem.
His drop step, and then we talked about it, a lot of 6'7" freshmen should not be dribbling the basketball. A lot of centers at freshmen should not be dribbling the basketball. His little power step and drop into a layup or what's going to be a dunk one day.
And an offensive board kept alive by Smith Cotton. Fouled on the putback was Dax Whiskers. Had a big game. No, you're absolutely right. And you got to think, if he's a freshman, there's a chance he's still growing.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even think about that.
I think Cody just had his shoulder dislocated.
Things you should not say on air during a broadcast, but thank you. Cody a little shaken up. We'll see. Hopefully he's all right.
She's learning.
We're going to go over an etiquette class with everybody before too long.
We all need it. Yeah, hopefully Tam's okay. That's a big loss for the Mustangs.
If there is one,
and just health of the kid.
There is one guy that I absolutely love watching play basketball. It's no good. It's Cody Tam.
Yeah.
Because Cody's the only guy I know that can have 3 games and score 10 in one, 20 the next, 30 the other, but have a major impact equally in all 3 because he plays so aggressively.
His defensive effort is usually better than his offensive.
Second free throw is good. That blocked shot he had against New Bloomfield to save the game in regulation was beautiful. Thought he was going to hit his head on the rim going for it.
See, was that all of Smith Cotton's starters just check out of the game, or at least most of them?
Most of them. Yeah, I think they're all out, actually, as I say that. Ooh. Hardy drops somebody on the take. Talon gets inside, dishes it out to Bayshore, turns the corner, dishes it back to Talon. Thought about the 3. Bayshore gets the defender to bite. Jump stop inside. Floater off back iron. Won't go. Rebound pulled in by Smith Cotton.
I think you have a mismatch when you look up and see Bayshore being defended by the big center. Like somewhere there's a mismatch on the floor, but
I
It really isn't
I have
because
no idea who's on the floor for Smith Cotton because he's not in our book.
sounds about right.
Bennett stripped by Ahart. Keeps it alive, dishes it out. Extra pass underneath. Man, Smith Cotton does that well as the layup's up and good.
It's a nice pass.
Back the other way. Skip, Hardy, corner three. Halfway down, Bennett. Another board.
Really needed that one.
And just all the refs looking at each other.
Just waiting for someone to call for the travel.
Well, it makes it. I think the rule of thumb is, if I understand right, before you call the travel, you're supposed to make sure no one else had a foul first, and everybody stared at each other. All right, one of us has to make this call.
A big smile out of the guy on the far sideline. You don't see officials smile too often.
I'm going to be honest. I think this game's been very well officiated. It's been. I don't think officiating's been an impactful part of this game.
No.
Oh, a steal by Smith Cotton again. Euro, but a layup wasn't really close. What's the old Uncle Drew quote? $10 move with a 5-cent finish.
He got really. His eyes got really big there. I saw this on TV once, and then it was just.
Coach is even looking out like, did you just Euro?
You know, he's saying think, and the think is probably, hey, we could just draw the contact, go up, get an and one. Instead, I'd do the same thing.
Coach even looking at him on the bench. Really? Did you just Euro? Calm down, Manu Ginobili.
Seriously.
Rebound pulled in by Hines off the missed shot from Smith Cotton. 2:20 play. This quarter's gone fast because, it's running clock.
I realize there's a whole generation of basketball players now that don't even know where the Euro step started or why it's called the Euro step.
That kills me. Devin Hardy steps through the defense, draws the foul. Because it started with Manu, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And everyone's like, well, now, they just say Euro. And I think even probably most kids my age wouldn't have known that. But, everyone's just calling it a Euro step, have no clue why.
Well, yeah. I mean, Manu Ginobili, and also I think people forget how good Manu Ginobili was.
We just said we were going to make a bunch of Tim Duncans. We'll make a bunch of Manu Ginobilis, too,
As first free throw for Hardy's up and good. Yeah, I mean, that was the beauty of it because Manu Ginobili did not play Spurs-style ball.
No.
He made Greg Popovich adjust to him.
Yes.
Yeah, his Euro was sick. So many modern-day people are like, oh, Euro step. You mean James Harden? No. No, I mean the guy that had a bald spot.
The fake Euro step.
I mean the guy with a bald spot at 23 that was getting buckets on you.
Right.
Both free throws good for Devin. Pass underneath. Bennett sets his feet. He was trying to jam that one, and Britton said no. Britton splits the defense. Fires it ahead to Hardy with 1:15. Quick trigger three for Devin. Draws front iron. Rebound kept alive out to Ahart. No look to Hines. He'll try a step back three, and it's good.
Ooh. You know what? Why not?
Sometimes when you're down by this much, you just kind of don't really have any pressure, so you let it go.
Jacking threes. Yeah, why not?
Shots seem to look a little better. Hardy steals it at half court. Hardy left hand off the glass up and good. Quick flurry from the Mustangs. Cut it back under 30.
I think it's good to see, and it does speak to the program. You still have three Mustangs they're trying to follow up in a game where it's a 30-point game, and they're still trying to come back and get an offensive rebound if need be.
Inside to Bennett. Kickball going to be called.
Not bad. So who they play the loser now of the Camdenton game, right? Is that correct?
Yes, Eldon will get the loser of the Camdenton game.
Camdenton Fatima.
I'm actually glad you brought that up because I can look at the bracket and tell you that game will be played as the shot up and good. Was that a 2 or a 3? I was looking. Okay. Let's see here.
Ooh, tough lob there. Okay. Literally full court lob to Kyle Hines right there.
Good, messed up the scoring. All right. So the Eldon will play again Friday at 7:30 against the loser of Fatima and Camdenton. Smith Cotton will advance to play on Thursday at 7:30, the winner of that game. So we'll see the Mustangs again Friday night 7:30. We'll have Versailles right before that at 6. Okay. And the buzzer sounds. That's how this one comes to a close. 68-40. The Mustangs fall to Smith Cotton in that 7-2 matchup. An abbreviated postgame show is coming up. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Since 1944, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company, Morgan County's only locally owned lumber yard, has been providing the area with quality building materials needed for its building, remodeling, and repair projects. Because customer care is Carpenter Gunther's #1 goal, your project is always their priority. They take as much pride in your project as you do. Reach them at 378-4433 Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and 8 to noon on Saturday. Carpenter Gunther, where they put the home in hometown business.
Have you ever gone into panic mode because you reach into your wallet and your debit card is not there? Hi, this is Ryan Pryor from Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles. With the Umbrella app on your mobile phone, you can block your debit card with a quick tap of a button. 5 minutes later, you remember that it's in your pocket. No problem. Just go back in and unblock your card, and now it's business as usual. Ask us how you can enroll. Member FDIC.
A hometown bank, a hometown friend.
If you're looking to buy or sell a luxury home, first-time homeowner, farm, townhouse, lakefront property, or a commercial property, then call Chris Weeberry with First Choice Realty, Eldon's oldest and most trusted real estate brokerage. Chris is a lifelong resident of the area and real estate salesperson. If you're thinking about selling or you're looking to purchase your new home, Chris would love to help you out. Give him a call at 573-480-2313. That's 573-480-2313.
And we're back with the Bank of Versailles postgame show as the Mustangs lose a tough one to Smith Cotton, 68-40. Ryan, I don't know a nice way to say this. I'm just going to say it. Sometimes you run into a bigger, badder, better team, and I kind of think that's what happened here this season.
Yeah, sometimes you walk out on the floor and you're just like, all right, it's a little different. You know, they got some size, they got some length, they're getting out in passing lanes, and I thought in the first half they controlled the tempo well. I think it's a decision you have to make at halftime. Like, are we going to try to keep the score close and maybe work our way back into this one, play that slow style of basketball, or are we just going to go for it, right, and try to play a really chaotic style, maybe come back in the game, maybe lose by 30, but at least we said we tried. And I think they went for the latter, and you can't blame a coach for doing that. It's not about score control. It's about winning a game in a tournament. You either win or you lose. And they came out and tried to win in the third quarter, and it didn't go well. But it happens, and you got to regroup and play again on Friday.
What I will say is Eldon can take a lot from this because they're not going to see a lot of teams with the size, length, and speed of Smith Cotton. So, you know, it can be a learning experience. Once again, the Mustangs will be back in action at 7:30 on Thursday against the loser of this Camdenton and Fatima game, which, by the way, you can watch MoSportsZone.com. It'll also be on Mix 92.7. Ryan, what did the scoring look like for the Mustangs?
Yeah, we had 12 out of Devin Hardy. He led the way. 9 out of Kyle Hines, kind of had a late flurry in the fourth quarter. 8 out of Cody Tam. 5 out of Talon Hull, and then 2 from Ahart, Bayshore, and Deer King.
Fantastic. Well, I was going to hold on, but I think Coach Caudell probably caught up with everything. He's going to want to talk to the boys. Do you have any final thoughts on what we saw here this evening?
Well, I think sometimes you just got to say, like you said, you just come in and say, hey, there's Coach Caudell right there. Thank goodness we held on to it. So, yes, I think sometimes he's just really athletic, and you got to tip your cap. We'll see what he has to say. I'm sure he's going to say some of the similar things, and probably talk about the third quarter a little bit as well. I think that was the turning point. Everyone kind of noticed that. But I am really interested to see what he's got to say here.
I appreciate the fact that Coach is
me too.
coming up to talk as we get him fit with a headset here. We're joined by the head coach of the Eldon Mustangs, Coach Nathaniel Caudell. Coach Caudell, how'd you feel about your squad's performance this evening?
First half, I was really proud of our guys. Came out and executed pretty well. Scouting report, number 3 had been averaging over 20 points a game. Held them to 4 tonight, so we did great there. But then, just some other things, turnovers that really cost us, and then just not being fundamental in our defense really cost us there in the second half. But proud of our guys that were in there at the end of the game. They fought really hard all the way to the end. I'm really proud of those guys, and something we just got to keep building on.
I know you're not big on moral victories, but getting better is always important. And I thought there were some good things this evening. First off, I thought Devin Hardy had an excellent showing. Him and Talon Hull, neither one really seemed to care about their size. Talon had to have had 6 or 7 rebounds tonight, even with the size of Smith Cotton. Why is it that your smaller guys rebound better than most big guys?
They just play hard. They they approach the game the right way. Devin Hardy's never been afraid of anybody, size. Since he was a sophomore and started, starting for us then. So really proud of him and, just how much he's grown throughout the years. I know that you talked about, it's not moral victory. We don't focus on moral victories, but that's one that I am really proud of. Just seeing how he's progressed, not only as a basketball player, but just as a human being, and he's handling things the right way. So seeing him, come in and play hard the entire game was great to see. Talon's another one this year. Talon's been, one of our best leaders. Just always constant effort. He doesn't care if he scores. He doesn't care. He's going to do his best to put his teammates in great positions. Got his head down a little bit there for a little bit, frustrated with himself on some early turnovers, but came back in and played hard. And like you said, he rebounds extremely well for his size. And so, both those guys did a lot of good things tonight.
Well, Mr. Henderson was nice enough to absolutely load this tournament up with a ton of talent. So it's not like things get easier for you guys in the next round, as you're going to be staring down the barrel of either Fatima or Camdenton. But I kind of feel like that's what you want, that you like playing these big, bad teams. I mean, how does this affect you guys in the season? How important is it to get these kind of games in at this point in your season?
You know, at the end of the day, you know, what you're really focused on is when you get into districts, right? And really focus on what you can do there. Our district is loaded, right? We got 2 top 10 teams in the state and a third that's getting votes, and Osage, I think, should be getting votes too. So I think you got 4 that have a say, right, and have a claim to want to be in the top 10 and should be. So we've got 4 out of 6 teams that are that way. You know, it's not going to get any easier throughout the season. So these games are really good for us. As you saw, we saw this is a good Class 6 school, right?
Absolutely.
They're playing really well. Really good Class 6 school. We showed that we can play with them, right? We showed that we can do some of those things. We just got to take away the mental errors that we had and do a better job of staying together and not getting down whenever, you know, things aren't going our way.
Well, Coach, I know you've got a lot of game to watch coming up next to get ready for one of these 2 squads, so I'll let you get to it. But still, I thought it was a good showing, especially the first half from your boys. And honestly, I look forward to seeing them again on, I believe it's Friday at 7:30 they'll play the loser of this matchup. But thanks, as always, for coming up to talk with us.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. That is Coach Nathaniel Caudell, head coach of these Eldon Mustangs. They fall short in this one, but still a good performance by Eldon, and we'll have them back on Friday. We were interrupted before Ryan.
Oh, it's okay. No. I think he hit it head on the nail, right? They showed in times where they could compete really well, and I think we've seen bits and pieces of that all season for Eldon, and maybe they peak at the right time, get some scoring going, and get a good stretch going down the stretch. So we'll see.
I couldn't agree more. Well, we're going to put a wrap on this thing. I'm going to throw on a different headset over on Mix 92.7 with Mr. Denny Benny over there, and we'll be covering the Laker game. But Ryan, it's always good to see you, buddy. Good luck this weekend. Go hit some dingers for us.
I hope so. Down in Mississippi. Hopefully it's warmer than it is here.
I've been told you're the Matt Holliday of Mid-Missouri baseball.
That's kind. That's very kind.
I look forward to seeing lots of you this year. But for Britt on the camera, for James.